And I now look to Asifa to continue the case for the opposition.
I'd like to wish the House a warm good evening, and I'd like to start by saying I am a minority within a minority. I am Britain's first out Muslim drag queen. I've had to basically fight very hard to have my voice heard, and I could not have done that without the support of allies and for the allies to be in the spotlight. Now, I would like the House to consider that media is both informative, influential, and at its heart, very, very powerful in getting messages across to the masses. 2 years ago, in 2014, actually 3 years ago now, 3 years ago in 2014, I took part in the BBC Three speech debate. And I asked a question: when will homosexuality be accepted in Islam? I was paraded around the British media, and I very much, was seen as the picture boy at the time of Muslim LGBT issues. And at the same time, when I gave a Channel 4 interview, I was pitted up against the Imam of the Birmingham Central Mosque, who very much condemned me and my actions. And at the time, I found it very difficult because there was nobody else from my community, LGBT Muslim community, who was willing to firstly out themselves, and neither did I find an ally from my heterosexual counterparts within the Muslim community who would go on camera and say they supported or were allies. I'd like to fast forward a year later. The Channel 4 documentary, Muslim Drag Queens. It was a documentary that centered on the gay Asian community in the UK, and it followed me, it followed a few of my drag colleagues, but incidentally, it wasn't my story, or it wasn't our drag stories that really took the nation by storm. There were two particular scenes that up until today, I am tweeted about. I have thousands and thousands of Facebook and social media messages about. And these were two scenes regarding my family. One was when my sister and I discussed the impact of me being out and proud on an international level and how it has affected my father. The second scene was when I won the Pride Attitude Award that year. And at the last minute, my mum decided to take part in the documentary, attend the ceremony, and become visible. Up until that point, she was saying one thing to the community and supporting me from the background. By taking part in that documentary and by outwardly becoming visible and becoming an ally, a boundary was pushed. And essentially, that really is the heart of my addition to the debate tonight, is we need allies, but more importantly, we need allies to be out there in the spotlight, saying that they are allies and saying that LGBT issues affect them too. I'd like the House to consider one word: ghettoization. By saying that the LGBT movement should be confined to just LGBT voices or LGBT faces, in my eyes, is ghettoizing the issue. LGBT issues are global issues. If we consider the fact that 1 out of 10 people identify as LGBT+, then how, despite being a minority, how can we not affect people that are non-LGBT+? And how can our issues not affect them? And why should they not be able to say outwardly, publicly, and be in the spotlight about these issues that affect me and issues that affect them? I'd also like the House to consider that, again, I come from very much a part of the LGBT community that doesn't get the spotlight. And in many ways, yes, I am the leading force when it comes to the LGBT Muslim movement. However, I know for a fact that I solely cannot ask or fight for tolerance and acceptance of the issue of both LGBT issues, religion, race on my own. Being LGBT+ is a very small part of our identity, and everyone within this house sits here tonight with a multifaceted identity. So, for example, myself. Actually, do you know what? I'm not going to talk about myself because I talk about myself a lot. Let me take my sister. My sister, she identifies as heterosexual. She identifies as Pakistani, British, a woman. She also, believe it or not, does identify as an LGBT ally and is very vocal about it, as is my mum. And the reason why is because essentially she's grown up with an LGBT person around her. She may not understand my experiences word for word. She may not feel exactly how I feel, but my life experience has definitely affected her life, and therefore she is vocal about it. Now, if we take on board issues that affect LGBT people, at the heart of those issues are simple human feelings. The need to be heard, the need to be acknowledged, the right of self-expression, the right of free speech, the right to have legal rights, which we freely exercise in this country and in much of the Western world. However, in my parents' home country of Pakistan, at this moment in time, it's only transgender people that have equal rights in law and are recognized by the law. There's plenty of work to be done. And by taking the LGBT movement and confining it to just LGBT people and LGBT voices and LGBT faces, the movement will not be won. We need allies. We need allies to be out there, to be influential, to be powerful, both on the media platforms, in academia, and in politics. Because without them, we will simply not have the LGBT movement normalized and equalized. I think it's right for me to say that everybody in this house tonight is striving for equality. And at the heart of this debate, I would like the House to consider that equality lies with everybody aligning with the fact that the notion of the LGBT movement is global. It's a civil rights movement, it's a human rights movement, and we need allies out there in the spotlight as well. Thank you very much.